Hello my friends, my name is Sana. Welcome to my channel, Mrs. Perfectly Imperfect Keto, where being perfect is overrated and being imperfect is appreciated. So I wanted to put this video out there. I have been doing a ketogenic way of eating for over 4 years now, and I always get asked questions for just opinions and advice based off on my personal journey. So I do want to put a disclaimer out there. I am not a healthcare professional. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nurse. I am not your doctor or your nurse. So definitely seek medical guidance if need be, if you're wanting to make any changes to your way of eating. So I'm going to get to the first topic here, and I'm going to be looking down to make sure that I cover each experience that I have gone through and learned from. So the first thing that I'm going to mention is you're going to want to make sure to clear out your kitchen of any non-keto friendly food items. And we're going to get into that keto friendly mentioning, but what I'm referring to is we're going to want to make sure to clear out anything that is not a whole food, or we're going to want to clean it out from pantry, fridge, freezer. If you have a family member or family members that are going to still continue eating high carb, try to find and designate a area of the fridge, freezer, pantry to their food items and try to separate it from your own to make it a lot more easier and a lot more helpful for you. I am going to get into the mentioning of when it comes to having these high carb items, processed items still in your household. So if you get to a situation where you end up succumbing to a non-keto friendly food item that might be part of your high carb family food items, I definitely suggest for you to evaluate that situation. And sometimes we kind of need to come to terms with what's going on. I definitely have a different perspective than someone else will, because you will hear a lot in the keto community where people basically say, oh, if you slip up, it's okay. We're all human. Show yourself some grace. Just go ahead and move on and have your next meal be keto friendly. What I will say to that, because I am someone that has gone through mental health and needing to heal my mental health, try to also evaluate that situation. It might not be as easy as, oh, I slipped up, let me show myself some grace and let me move on, because you might be avoiding and you might be pushing aside something that might be going on, some unhealthiness going on with mental health and your connection when it comes to food. There might be an emotional comfort that is being created and caused by these high carb foods. So I definitely want you to have yourself shown, that grace, but also make sure you are seeking help, because you're going to want to make sure you're going into this way of eating with the right mentality and the proper mental health, because it's only going to make you a lot more stronger starting this way of eating. So I definitely suggest first, aside from cleaning everything out, you're going to want to make sure to clear your mentality as well as your body from any negative connections with these high carb processed foods that you're leaving behind. And don't feel ashamed or embarrassed to get that help, because as you heard on one of my previous videos, I did wait a very long time before I sought help for my mental health. So I definitely encourage anyone that might be going through something regarding mental health, do not feel embarrassed, do not feel ashamed, get yourself the help you need, because therapists are also there when it comes to an eating disorder. You might be thinking to yourself, oh wow, why is she labeling it an eating disorder? I'm sorry. We have to be honest and it is what it is. Eating disorders is not just labeled with anorexia or bulimia. If we are binge eating, if we are finding comfort, and we are using foods to give us that comfort, there is an eating disorder going on. So definitely seek that help before you dive in to any way of eating. That is just my personal experience and my advice to help you guys be more successful at going about this way of eating. So the next topic that we're going to mention is, now that we cleaned out these foods, we're going to have to now go shopping for new food. Definitely stick to your whole foods. Pick a protein. There's so much protein selection, also including seafood, and pick a keto-friendly vegetable. You're going to see that there is a lot of products, packaged products, that are going to mimic your high carb foods that you used to be incorporating. You're going to see a lot of marketing, gimmicking going on. A lot of people within the keto community like to call it the net carb, as well as the dietary fiber game. You'll also hear Dr. Ken Berry on YouTube call it reindeer games, because it is very much a game that is truly being played on these nutrition labels and this package labeling. I'm going to put some comparisons. I'm not going to spend too much time on it, because you would have to make that decision for yourself if you're wanting to incorporate these prepackaged keto-friendly items. I am not someone that the community would like to call people, which is keto police or keto policing everyone's food choices, part of their ketogenic journey. But for me, you are going to have a lot of bang for your buck if you stick to your whole foods, because these keto-friendly prepackaged items, they are very expensive. You will see for yourself a lot of the ingredients match the high carb, non-keto-friendly counterparts of these items. So definitely make that decision for yourself. I'm going to put some side-by-sides. That way you can see a keto-friendly loaf of bread with the non-friendly keto counterpart, and you'll see the carbs are pretty much the same. They're spot on, and there is the increase of dietary fiber that is allowing that manufacturer to say that it is keto friendly. So I will definitely say, when it comes to the dietary fiber, in my experience, and studies will also show this information, if you have a high amount of dietary fiber in your day, say you're eating more than one slice of that keto bread, you're definitely getting a very increased amount of dietary fiber. For a lot of people, that is going to result in having a lot of gas, inflammation, bloating. It might also cause you to have diarrhea if you're not used to those high amounts of dietary fiber. But some people are able to incorporate it in their ketogenic way of eating and not have any issues with it. So it's a matter of you do you. This is just my experience. I find it better to not incorporate them because they were causing me personal issues. And it was just something that I did not need to be spending money on. The cost of these items are not always very cheap. Some of the loaves of bread can be up to $12 for a very small loaf. I'd rather spend that money on whole foods that's going to last me longer and that's going to satiate me and keep me full a lot longer. So I'd rather get more bang for my buck. And you also see a lot of people mention, when they're eating those prepackaged items that are keto friendly, they've been able to lose a lot of weight still incorporating them. That's why I'm going to say, make that decision for yourself on whether or not you want to incorporate them, and you'll just have to see how your body does with it, because that's the beauty of this, is all our bodies are unique and they're different, and what might affect my body might not affect yours. But definitely just focus on the food. You're going to hear a lot of people ask, should I work out? Should I exercise? Try to not make this too overwhelming for yourself. Try to first focus on the food. Once you get the food right, maybe after 90 days, try walking, whatever you're comfortable with. whatever is going to bring you happiness and passion and not make it feel like you're punishing yourself. Pick something up that is going to bring you happiness, but also make sure you're challenging yourself. You know, you want to make sure that you're coming out of a comfort zone. So definitely start it slow. You're not going to want to injure yourself by getting into any physical activity that is too strenuous at first. So kind of work your way up to it, but little by little, try to challenge your body. So say if first, you know, you start off walking to and from your mailbox and you're doing that repetitively. Try to make it to the end of your block one day or at the end of a week. You know, try to increase from that. The next thing that people ask is, should I intermittent fast or should I not intermittent fast? So when we talk about intermittent fasting, we're talking about having the body be in a fasted state of no food consumption at all. You're not eating anything that has any calories to it. It would be said that anything less than 50 calories does not cause a metabolic response. But for my own opinion, I just feel like, you know, if you're going to fast, you should not be eating anything. It should be a matter of just drinking water. Some people might incorporate unflavored electrolytes, which we will get into that information as well. But it is very easy to intermittent fast. So this is something that your body can most definitely do naturally. So don't focus too much on the fasting at first. I don't know about all of you, but when I'm sleeping, I am certainly not eating. So that time of sleep definitely would be part of your intermittent fasting. So the basis of intermittent fasting, I think it's really important going into this way of eating that we try to stick to having our lunch or our brunch and having our dinner. Try to allow your body to get in the habit of no snacking. And then, you know, by the time you finish your dinner, try to have your dinner scheduled by a certain time. You know, if you're going to have it be, for example, like 7 p.m., if you go from 7 p.m. to the next day, say, for example, you go up until noon, you go up until 12 p.m., right there, you already have 17 hours between finishing your meal at 7 p.m. and then you're not eating the next following day until 12 p.m. So that would be considered like you intermittent fasted for 17 hours. So this is something that can come very naturally. What I will say is don't force it. Do not feel like you have to put pressure on your body, because we are going to want to take an approach to this in a very relaxed manner. Your body is going to respond to you a lot better if you're not putting too much stress on it and you are not trying to juggle too many changes for it all at one time. So let the fasting come naturally. You can always evaluate when it comes to getting your food right and evaluate and try to incorporate what fasting time frame might work for you. You can always incorporate it later on. Do not focus on it and do not put it as a stress on yourself in the very beginning. It will happen in time. So when it comes to the mentioning of the electrolytes, a lot of people, they like to incorporate electrolytes in the very beginning because they are trying to avoid what is the keto flu. So the keto flu would basically mimic a state of dehydration. So it is basically giving you a feeling of insufficiency when it comes to hydration. So you might have feelings of feeling lethargic, dizzy. You might have, with that lethargic, you might feel like you can't mentally focus. So it's going to be a matter of having like brain fog. You might feel, for an example, muscle aches. You might have some pains that you're experiencing. So each one of these can be part of your keto flu. So a lot of people try to incorporate electrolytes to be able to assist them. Some people, their bodies don't experience keto flu. There might be a couple months that they're eating the ketogenic way of eating and they're waiting, when is this keto flu supposed to happen? It doesn't happen to everybody. You're going to kind of have to go through your experience and see how your body reacts. But, just know you have electrolytes available. There are some different brands out there that are a lot more clean and a lot more keto friendlier. I do not have any sponsorships with any electrolyte companies. If you are looking for an electrolyte, definitely drop a comment and I can definitely connect you with a YouTuber that has sponsorship, and you'll be able to get some savings. So definitely drop me a comment and I can definitely help you guys out with that. And the next point that I want to mention, don't stress any of this. Our main focus is to be able to achieve better health for ourselves. You'll hear a lot of people say to show yourself some grace and just allow yourself to be 1% better than the day you had left behind. It's a lot. When we make any change in life, it's going to be a lot of work that's going to go into it. There might be a lot of frustration, a lot of stress that goes into it. That's just the way some of us have to adapt to change, is to go through all the frustrations. But just know you are not alone. There is a very large keto community. It's definitely a lot larger than when I started over 4 years ago. There is a lot of help out there. There is a lot of very positive support. So I definitely say surround yourself and come out of your shell, so to speak, and seek help, seek partnership or accountability with somebody that is doing this way of eating, because it is definitely going to help you, especially when you get into moments where you feel overwhelmed. What better way than to speak to someone that truly gets it? They know what you're going through. So definitely try to seek an accountability partner. And tying in with that, with the stress, the scale, I like to call the scale the DEVIL. And I joke that when I do not have to use the scale as a measurement, if I'm doing, like say, for example, I'm doing the beef, butter, bacon, and egg challenge, I weighed myself at the beginning of the challenge and I'll be weighing myself at the end, as I did on the end of my first 30 days. I'll be weighing myself at the last day, which would be the 60th or the next morning of the 61 day of me ending. But I joke that I keep the scale in the deepest, darkest corner of my closet, and that's where it remains until I need it. I try to control that situation and not let the scale control me. As you are starting this way of eating, there is sometimes the whoosh effect, where at first you might go a month, 2 months, 3 months. There might be a long period of time where you are not noticing any budge with the scale, but do understand there is healing going on within your body, and your body sometimes just needs to heal all the high carb and processed foods that we put it through before our body fully heals and then allows some of that fat to release itself. A lot of times when people go through a big whoosh, sometimes it's fat, sometimes it's water weight, sometimes it's just the healing of the inflammation that their body had. So do not compare yourself with anybody else's journey. Your changes will come. Don't just allow the scale to applaud you on your victories. The scale is not the tell all, be all. You will have what is called non scale victories. You'll see it abbreviated as NSV in the keto community. Allow those non scale victories to be just as victorious as seeing a low number on the scale. So I definitely want to mention that your non scale victories will be triumphant, if not more triumphant than that number on the scale. Do not allow the scale to depreciate your value or the achievements that you've made throughout your keto journey. Non-scale victories, they can come in the forms of coming off of medication. You'll see some people mention that they had multiple medications they took, and little by little they have had to come off of these medications because they no longer needed them. Some people had no pain. They were immobile, and now they have mobility. You'll see a lot of side-by-side pictures before and after where some people had poor skin and now they have clear, shining, glowing skin. So I definitely want you all to make sure to just change your mindset when it comes to the scale, because the scale, don't allow it to be a hindrance for you. So if you have any questions or feedback, or if you feel there's something helpful that you had learned in your keto journey and you feel that it could help someone else watching this video, definitely go ahead and drop a comment. I would definitely love to hear from you. If you do have any questions, any feedback, go ahead and leave that also in the comments for me. And I just want to finish off this video, just as I do with all my videos. There might be something that happened imperfect in your day, but just remember that your dreams and your goals, they do not have limits, they do not have expiration dates, and you do not have to follow any deadline. Go ahead and show yourself some grace, my friends, and let's continue to just go onward and upward on our keto journey. I appreciate you all. I would appreciate if you like and subscribe to my video, and along with subscribing, go ahead and hit the bell icon and select all. That way you will be aware of all my upcoming videos. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care, my friends.